T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Engines full power. And liftoff of Falcon 9. Go Eutelsat 10B, go 1049.
Vehicle's pitching downrange. Stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
Falcon 9 has successfully lifted off from Pad 40 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, carrying the Eutelsat 10B satellite.
Power and telemetry.
Now, during ascent, the M1D engines will actually swivel and help steer Falcon 9. This is known as gimbal. The rocket autonomously tilts the engines just a few degrees, and this gimbaling allows the vehicle to perform a gravity turn, which is when we go vertical as well as horizontal. Now we're still going up, but we are also heading horizontally away from the launch pad. And we have just heard that we've passed through max Q. That is the largest structural load that the vehicle sees on ascent. Now we will throttle those M1D engines back up on the first stage. This is a really cool tracking view of our Falcon 9 vehicle. Coming up next, in about a minute, we will have a few events happening back to back. That will be MECO,
engine chill has started.
MECO, stage separation, and SCS-1. We just heard that call out that the MVAC engine is chilling. Now, MECO is main engine cutoff. That is where all 9 of the M1D engines shut down on the first stage. That's what you're seeing lit up on your screen there. They will shut down in preparation for stage separation. That's where the first and second stages will separate. Stage 1 will not be landing on today's mission, and stage 2 will continue on its journey to take the Eutelsat 10B satellite to its targeted drop-off orbit. Now those events are coming up here in about 20 seconds.
Main engine cut off. Stage separation confirmed. Stage 1 FTS is safe.
Great news. We did have MECO stage separation, and there you can see on your screen that MVAC engine has ignited. Now, as a reminder, we are not attempting to land our first stage today, as our mission requires more performance, so it will use up the fuel typically used for landing. Now, coming up next will be fairing separation in a few seconds here. Great live view there of the fairing halves separating from the stage
Fairing
2
separation.
vehicle.
Acquisition of signal, Bermuda.
And there we heard the confirmation call out. We will be attempting to retrieve these fairing halves again today once they fall back down to Earth using our recovery ship Doug. Second stage is currently in the middle of its first burn, and our next milestone coming up is second engine cutoff 1, or SECO 1. And that's scheduled to happen in about 4 minutes from now. Now, if you're just joining us, we are currently at T plus 4.5 minutes into today's mission, Eutelsat 10B. So far on the mission, we've had a successful liftoff, MECO, stage separation, SCS-1, and fairing separation. Again, as a reminder, we did not attempt the landing of our first stage vehicle today, as this mission requires more performance. Again, we will be utilizing all of the fuel inside of the
Stage
vehicle.
2 following an anomalous trajectory.
We did utilize all the fuel needed for this mission, so the vehicle is being expended today. Now we're currently in the first burn of 2 planned MVAC burns prior to satellite deployment, and our next major milestone that we have coming up is SECO 1. And we are just under 3 minutes away from SECO 1 on the second stage. That's second stage engine cutoff 1. Again, what you're seeing on your screen is a live view on the Falcon 9 second stage, looking at our MVAC engine. Now, the MVAC engine is optimized for 220,500 pounds of thrust in the vacuum of space. It utilizes liquid oxygen RP1. That's what we fill our vehicles with. And the Merlin vacuum engine also features a larger exhaust section and a significantly larger expansion nozzle, and that's compared to the M1D engines that you see on the first stage vehicle. Now, this is to maximize the engine's efficiency in the vacuum of space. At full power, the Merlin vacuum engine operates with the greatest efficiency ever for an American-made hydrocarbon rocket engine. Again, if you're just now joining us, you are watching the mission for Eutelsat 10B's satellite. And we are just a little over a minute away from SECO 1 on the second stage. Now, prior to liftoff, some of you may have noticed that our second stage looks very similar to first stage. Not only does it look similar, but it also has the same diameter, uses the same metal in the tanks, same computers, same propellant, and nearly the same engine. Now, this allows us to use similar tooling, design, and systems to essentially build 2 rockets that are more reliable. Again, the next event coming up is SECO 1. This will be the first shutdown of this MVAC engine. We do have 2 planned burns.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
We do have 2 planned burns for this mission to get Eutelsat 10B to its targeted drop-off orbit.